Date you? No. Dunedin, a city on New Zealand's South Island, is home to Baldwin Street, which holds the Guinness World Record for the steepest residential street. It has a gradient of 30-48%, making it a super tough walk. Your retina is packed with light-sensitive cells, but turns out you have way more rods than cones. There are over 120 million rods for detecting light and motion, compared to only about 6 million cones for color vision. The Lacey Act of 1900 was a massive game-changer for wildlife protection in the US, prohibiting the trafficking of illegally harvested wildlife. It was one of the first federal laws to tackle poaching and the illegal wildlife trade. Back in 2017, we actually detected the very first known interstellar object ever to visit our solar system called Oumuamua. It was a super strange cigar-shaped visitor that just zoomed on by. Talk about a cosmic surprise, right? Ancient Egyptians weren't just eating bread. They were also brewing a ton of beer, a staple of their diet. They even paid pyramid builders partly in beer, considering it nutritious and safe around 2500 BC. Sweden's Sarek National Park is home to an incredible concentration of over 200 peaks that soar higher than 1800 meters. This incredibly remote and wild area is often called Europe's last wilderness. Even mild dehydration, like just a 2% drop in your body's water content, can temporarily shrink your brain tissue. This can actually mess with your memory, attention, and other cognitive skills. Hawaii is the only US state that was once an independent kingdom ruled by a monarchy. The Hawaiian kingdom lasted for almost a century, from 1795 until the overthrow in 1893. St. Louis hosted the first ever Olympic Games held in North America. Back in 1904, the third modern Olympic Games took place there right after the World's Fair. The classic moon pie, that delicious graham cracker and marshmallow treat, actually originated right in Chattanooga, Tennessee. The first one was baked way back in 1917, no joke, and it's been loved ever since. While everyone thinks of New Orleans, the very first Mardi Gras celebration in the United States actually happened in Mobile, Alabama. They kicked off the carnival tradition way back in 1703, even before the Big Easy. Garter snakes are super social during hibernation, no joke. Thousands of them gather in massive communal dens like those in Manitoba, Canada, to survive the cold winter together. North Carolina is home to a super unique ecosystem called pocosins, which are these dense evergreen shrub bogs. They're basically raised peat wetlands, playing a crucial role in the state's natural environment. Tea bags were accidentally invented by American tea merchant Thomas Sullivan in 1908. He sent tea samples to customers in small silk pouches, and they simply dunked the whole bag into hot water. The youngest world champion in boxing history was Wilfred Benitez, who won his first title at just 17 years old. He snatched the WBA light welterweight belt in 1976, beating Antonio Cervantes. Nebraska has its very own iconic fast food chain called Runza, famous for its unique Runza sandwich. It's a delicious doughy pocket filled with ground beef cabbage and onions. A true local favorite since 1949. The Skateboard Hall of Fame and Museum was established in 2009 by the IASC International Association of Skateboard Companies to honor skateboarding's most influential pioneers. It's located in Simi Valley, California, preserving skate history. The very first U.S. rural free delivery mail route was established in Charlestown, West Virginia on October 1, 1896. This service revolutionized how people in remote areas received mail connecting rural America. Despite its relatively small population at the time, Canada played a truly pivotal role in World War I, especially during the Battle of Vimy Ridge. This victory on April 9, 1917, is often seen as a defining moment in Canadian national identity. Your cornea is totally unique because it's the only part of your entire body that doesn't need a direct blood supply. It actually gets its oxygen directly from the air and nutrients from your tears. In states like Texas, hunting feral hogs is actually encouraged year-round, sometimes even from helicopters, because they cause billions in agricultural damage. These invasive pigs reproduce super fast, making them a huge problem. Your eye color can totally seem to shift, especially with changes in light or even your mood. This happens because the iris muscles contract, changing how light reflects off your melanin. The sun actually makes a sound, but we can't hear it because space is a vacuum and it's super low frequency. It vibrates constantly at a frequency that's far below what human ears can detect. Pretty cool to think about. Mount Washington in New Hampshire holds the record for the highest measured wind speed on Earth outside of a tornado, reaching an insane 231 miles per hour in 1934. It's one of the planet's most extreme weather spots. The iconic Grand Ole Opry didn't always have its famous Opry House home in Nashville. For over 30 years until 1974, it actually broadcast live from historic Ryman Auditorium. Milford Sound, located in Fiordland National Park, isn't actually a sound but a fjord carved by glaciers, and it's absolutely breathtaking. Rudyard Kipling even called it the eighth wonder of the world. The iconic chocolate chip cookie was actually invented by accident in 1938. Ruth Wakefield, who ran the Toll House Inn, ran out of Baker's chocolate and used chopped up Nestle chocolate, instead expecting it to melt. The brilliant scientist George Washington Carver spent a huge part of his life and education right here in Missouri. He was born into slavery near Diamond Grove, Missouri around 1864 before becoming an agricultural innovator. The use of traps for hunting is one of the oldest methods, with ancient cave paintings depicting various snaring techniques. Indigenous peoples like the Inuit have used complex trap systems for millennia to catch Arctic game. A snake's heart isn't fixed in one place, it can actually move around within its body. This flexibility lets it protect its vital organ from damage when swallowing a massive meal. The implantable pacemaker was invented in 1956 by Wilson Greatbatch, who picked up the wrong resistor for an oscillator he was building. Turns out the circuit pulsed, perfectly mimicking a heart's rhythm. Teflon was accidentally discovered in 1938 by Roy Plunkett at DuPont when he was trying to make a new refrigerant. He found a strange, slippery resin lining a cylinder of compressed gas. The father of the blues himself, W.C. Handy was born in Florence, Alabama back in 1873. He's famous for popularizing the blues and composing iconic songs like St. Louis Blues. When Mount St. Helens erupted catastrophically in 1980, it actually lowered its summit by over 400 meters. The powerful blast reduced its original 2,900-meter height to just 2,549 meters. Those delicious macadamia nuts aren't actually native to Hawaii, even though they're famous for them. They were first brought to Hawaii from Australia in 1881, as ornamental trees then became a major crop. Telling male and female African house snakes apart can be pretty subtle without probing. Males usually have more subcaudal scales, often over 50, and a relatively longer tail than females. We do actually grow new brain cells even as adults, especially in the hippocampus, a process called neurogenesis. Scientists estimate around 700 fresh neurons are born there every single day. The Voyager 1 probe is literally the furthest human-made object ever currently zooming through interstellar space. It launched way back in 1977, and it's even carrying a golden record with sounds and images from Earth. Pretty epic. Dolphin Island is Alabama's only inhabited barrier island, and it's super important for bird migration. Over 400 species of birds stop there during their long journeys across the Gulf of Mexico. North Carolina boasts the largest natural habitat zoo in the entire United States, located in Asheboro. Spread across over 2,600 acres, the NC Zoo gives animals huge naturalistic enclosures. The Philae Temple complex was totally moved brick by brick in the 1970s to save it from flooding after the Aswan High Dam. UNESCO organized this incredible effort, moving over 4,000 blocks to higher ground. You might know country music, but get this. The city of Bristol, Tennessee is officially known as the birthplace of country music. This incredible title comes from the legendary Bristol Sessions recorded in 1927, which discovered talents like the Carter family. Many pioneers on the Oregon Trail used Nebraska's famous Chimney Rock as a critical landmark on their long journey west. This natural spire, towering over 300 feet, was mentioned in countless journals from the mid-1800s as a sign of progress. The very first land battle of the Civil War, the Battle of Philippi, happened right here in West Virginia on June 30, 1861. Union forces launched a surprise attack at dawn, calling it the Philippi Races. Nebraska is home to the stunning Niobrara River, designated as a National Scenic River for its incredible beauty and biodiversity. It flows through diverse landscapes, offering fantastic opportunities for canoeing, kayaking, and wildlife viewing. If you enjoyed, subscribe for daily facts and catch the shorts too.